Hello, my name is Wan Akrami Shahi and I will explain about the introduction of local government. Okay, local government can be defined as the public administration of towns, cities, countries, and districts. Notice that this type of government includes both country and municipal government structure. It can be challenging, but these entities must work together to administrate a particular geographic area. Local government also administrating a city are normally called city council, or in Malay it is Majlis Bandaraya. However, there are local authorities which are called city hall, which is Dewan Bandaraya. The usage of the term city hall is a possible misnomer since a city hall normally refers to the building which houses a city council instead of the local council itself. Meanwhile, local government administrating a municipality are called municipal council, which is in Malay is Majlis Perbandaran. Local government has more contact and deal with citizens more than federal government. Okay, this is because local government runs the city utilities such as libraries, fire department, public swimming pool, parks, local law, and others. Okay, next is concept of representation in local government. Okay, there are a few representation in local government such as interest representation, cooperative representation, and mirror representation. Okay, the first one is interest representation, where local constituent perceive their elected representative as their personal advocates. Individual electors not only use their local member to pursue interests related to their particular local circumstance, whether they be personal, sectional, or altruistic. They also hold them responsible for any activities that interferes with their particular interests. Local representatives are expected to act as advocates of particular local interests, and local representatives may be members of a broader base party and thus draw votes on the basis of party loyalty. Okay, the second one is mirror representative. Okay, mirror representative occur when specific groups in society are represented according to their ratio in the community. The mirror approach incorporates a sense of an identity that is not tied to the party or geographical location. Rather, it depends upon the representative characteristic as a reflection of those groups in the community. Okay, the last one is corporate representative. Okay, corporate representative body seeks to protect and enforce a collective interest. In this sense, the representatives are acting for the electorate as a whole in what may be termed corporate representation. Corporate representation also is a principal agent model where the representative body seeks to protect and enforce a collective interest. Okay, the corporate view holds that once the elections are held, the elected body is free to make the decision on behalf of the community. Corporate representatives are in a similar position to a company board of directors who determine policy, set directive, and establish strategic direction. The corporate view focuses on the notion of authorization. A central feature of those political scientists who adhere to an authorization view is that election decided who will be given the authority to deliberate and decide for others. Okay, next I will explain about the main provision in Act 171 that relate to its representative function. Okay, the first one is policy making process. In general, policy making process in Malaysia has to go through several stages such as identifying the arising problems, planning, recommending, and formulating suitable alternative. Upon all the process, policy revision is vital nowadays due to the development of complex society in the modern era. Moreover, the roles played by certain groups are also essential to provide a better input in the content of the policy. In general, three players are identified, which is first one is the politician, government public administrator, the public, and the related interest group. Okay, the first group is the major players to be responsible in ensuring the success of the policy implementation. The group can be defined as the cabinet minister, member of parliament, and high level of government official. Okay, the second group, which is the local government. Under the constitution, the federal, state, and local government are given constitutional rights to implement public policy. As for the publics, they can act individually or form interest groups to put forth their ideas and needs for the government consideration. However, these individuals and interest groups do not automatically have the exact power to formulate a public policy or playing as a major actor. This will take the responsibility of a councillor, which councillor of each zone in every state, which is to bring the idea and interest of individual or interest group to the local government. Still, their movement can sometimes get a kind of a strong public support through their campaign and activities, and they also can make the policymaker to understand a ground problem in a clear vision to resolve the arising problems. Okay, for example, Tuan Muhammad Azhari bin Daud, which is one of the councillor of zone in Selayang. Okay, he represents Taman Sri Gombak, Prima Sri Gombak, Taman Pinggiran Batu Cave, and other 9 areas. He has played his role by help the citizen area arising problem or idea to be proposed to Selayang City Council. Okay, in the case where have an issue of clogged drain issues experienced by residents in SG Phase 9, Tuan Muhammad Azhari with the SCC will try to address the issue immediately, and for now some drains that have experienced critical damage, especially along the main road, have received approval to repair and upgrade. Okay, SCC will also propose several surrounding locations to be repaired and upgraded infra for the well-being of the community to be included in the MPS budget next year. In the case shows that the councillor has played the main role, which is he represents the public to give their idea or to resolve their problem to the SCC, which is Selayang Council City.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. My name is Rikmal Besizadin. So I will present about communicate policies of council to the public, which is we know the local government have the members of council that will communicate to the public. Alright. First of all, the members of council will inform the public that what is the program that the local government do, and the members of council will represent in which area that they live or which area that will represent, and will communicate to the public because the council members is the close one for to the public. Right, next, the members of council is elected by the by the local government, which they elected by the local government, and then they represent for the area that they've been chosen. Alright. For example, for the council of member communicate to the policies, communicate to the public, which is that example the MBSA Majlis Bandaraya Shah Alam, and have an program to distribution the clean water to the people, and the council members join to the program and try and distribution the clean water to the people that have an issue about water pollution in a certain area in Shah Alam, which is the program have the deputy of mayor and the council of member, which is Puan Puan Sarida, that will join to the program. Right, that's all I will present about the communicate policy of council to the public.
Assalamualaikum and good morning to the madam. So my name is Muhammad Aziz bin Aizatul Akmal. So today I will tell you about the third function of local government. So the third function of local government is represent local. So the councillors are appointed by the state government to ease the local government in governing their area. So council members are representatives to the council and the state government in order to get feedback and needs at the community level. In other words, councillors intends to be responsible to the needs and necessity of the local people. Appointed council members works as a strong team and the ability to perform responsibilities. So, council members cannot make their own decision and they need to refer to the local government to do or implement anything on their area. So, the second is the councillor's role is to represent their ward or division and the people who live in it. In addition, councillors provide a bridge between the community and the local government. Furthermore, councillors appointed for all zones and places must be from the public of the area to identify what problems are occurring in the area. So, the next is there are two ways of councillors can perform their jurisdiction. So, the first one is the councillors visit and monitor physically in their area and district they are appointed to. So this way is helping them to collect more information about the problems that are occurring in their area and district. Local people in that area also will be easy to voice out their problems and damage to the council members, because when the council members visit their area, the residents can approach him face to face and discuss what is happening in the area. So the next way is the councillors can take pictures of the problems and damaged area as a proof to the local government. So the pictures will make the local government diligent and responsible to provide solutions to such problems happen in the area. So all of the ways is the evidence that happen in the area. So the councillors carry out their duties very efficiently and responsibly in voice out the views and opinions of local people and present it to the upper level government. For example, like Manjung Municipal Councillor Habibah Rasdi from Malaysian Islamic Party has held a working visit to Felkra Gugusan Lekir Setiawan on 14 August 2020. She has taken closer look to the problem of garbage being dumped unmanaged at Felkra Gugusan Lekir. So that is the example of how the councillors perform their duties and take action towards the complaint by the residents. So that's all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum to Ms. Shaida and my fellow classmates. Today I'm going to continue my group presentation by explaining analysis of the provisions that prevent local government from increasing its effectiveness at the local level. In other words, I'm going to explain about what is the provisions in Local Government Act 1976 that prevent the local government from increasing its effectiveness. In other words, we will identify the flaw or the disadvantage provision. As introduction, Local Government Act 1976 is a foundation of functions, activities, and behavior of local government. The Local Government Act 1976 provide power and authority to execute its respective tasks. It also discuss about provisions that prevent local government from increasing its effectiveness at the local level. There are three identified provisions that prevent the local government from increasing its effectiveness. For example, there are provisions that make the local government slow decision making and time consuming, term of office, and the last one is political appointment. Into the next slide, I'm going to explain about slow decision making and time consuming. According to Part 4 Conduct of Business, Local Government Act 1976, based on the provision, it outlined the process of decision making for the local government. For example, the conduct of meetings, the conduct of vote for making decision. Based on the provision or the law, we can conclude that there are stages of policy decision. In other words, in order for a local government to make a policy or decision, they have to go through a lot of meetings, stages of meetings before producing a decision. This delay and slowing down decision from the local government, and it is not really good for the public when in time of crisis. Hence, it leads to delay, time consuming, and slow response for the local government and reduce effectiveness of the service delivery. For example, in the case of introduction of hard liquor by Dewan Bandaraya Kuala Lumpur, in response with the increasing amount of accident that involve drunk drivers. In other words, Dewan Bandaraya Kuala Lumpur introduced freeze new liquor license on the month of July, on June. Later on month of July, DBKL announced that alcohol licensing authority will produce a new alcohol license rules, but on the month of October or on the month of November, DBKL introduced hard liquor sales restriction or ban starting the year of October. The initiative by DBKL to address the issue of accident that involve drunk drivers initiate a spark debate on religion and race by many interest parties and stakeholders, as it is believed to compromise the rights of the non-Muslim to consume alcohol as practiced by their custom and ethnic. In other words, This showcases that since a decision involves sensitivity in terms of religion, race and culture, the local government cannot simply make a fast decision and policy. Hence, it requires multiple stages of meeting just to produce a policy for one issue. Thank you. Next, I will explain about the councillors of Pasir Gudang City Council, and we will referring to Mat Yasir Ahmad Basir, who is the councillor of Pasir Gudang City Council. Pasir Gudang local government status is upgraded into City Council effectively in November 2020. The current mayor of Pasir Gudang City Council is Yang Berbahagia Tuan Asman Shah bin Abdul Rahman, who take office on 30 November 2020. Currently, there are 12 councillors appointed under the local government of Pasir Gudang City Council, and one of it is Mat Yasir Ahmad Basir. Mat Yasir Ahmad Basir is appointed as the councillor of Pasir Gudang City Council in October 2020. He is the youngest person who is appointed as councillors at the age of 25 years old. He is the caretaker for the zone of Sri Alam and Syntax 2. Mat Yasir Ahmad Basir is the perfect candidate as he grew up in Pasir Gudang and stay at Sri Alam. Thus, he has the knowledge about the local and know his way around. Since he take office, there are many contributions towards the public. For an example, the issue of construction waste at Jalan Merbah Taman Syntax. On November 15, he met with Encik Suharno, who is representative of local Jalan Merbah, to investigate and collect information about the issue. After satisfied, he then reports the matter to the respective authority at Pasir Gudang City Council and promised to supervise the progress of action from Pasir Gudang City Council. As a councillor, he demonstrates his responsibility to hear the public issue and advocate to solve it. Although he is young, Mat Yasir Ahmad Basir managed to silence people who doubt his credibility. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Sharizan. So I would like to continue about my part, which is political appointment. So here, the terms of local government refers to the institution or structure which exercise the authorities. So it carry out government functional in the local level. So according to the United States Office of Government Ethics, a political appointment is any employee who is appointed by the president, the vice presidents or agency head. So I want to state some of my opinions towards local government by focusing in our country, Malaysia. Refer to the Act 171 under Section 10 Clause 1, which is a local authority shall consist of the mayor or the presidents and not less than 8 and not more than 24 or more council members to be appointed by the state authority. For further on this, there is an existence where they are failed to execute is responsible by appointing council members among themselves. So they do not doing their work. In other words, local authority are appointed by the state governments. Okay, so it can also be stated that if the government of the day, okay, for instance like Pakatan Harapan, okay, they definitely a big tendency towards them to appoint council members among them. So this is show clear like bias. Moving to the moving to the next one, which is they will having a conflict of interest where the will of the people or the will of the party can also be concluded that this conflict leads to the local government, public of interest, and also interest of parties. Such conflicts are not necessarily harmful, as it can serve to ensure that in arriving at any policy or course of action, the interests and concerns of all regions are taken into consideration and stable to address.
Next, the term of office Act 171 Section 10. According to Section 10 in bracket 3, the term of office of each councillor shall not exceed 3 years. The seat of a councillor shall be vacant in the event of his resignation accepted if he is disqualified under subsection 34 in bracket 7, or if his appointment is revoked by the state authorities. When the seat of a councillor becomes vacant, the mayor of the president shall notify the state authority immediately. A council member is eligible to be reappointed the expiration of his term. Next, based on the law above, it is concluded that the term of office for councillor is limited for 3 years for a single term. Thus, it is the power of the state government of the day whether to terminate or continue the service of a councillor. The 3-year service is considered too short and it unable to councillor to serve the public effectively, as it is believed a progress of change cannot be observed for over 3 years. For example, the ministry proposed to extend the term of office of councillors up to 5 years. This provides an opportunity for council members to be able to give an impact or carry out duties throughout the appointment period. The Ministry of Housing and Local Government is studying to extend the term of councillors up to 5 years, according to the general election term, such as political leaders. The last point is, the other example is the member of Local Authority Council, PBT, in Perak have been removed from their position effective April 30, 2020. A letter dated April 30 containing the official letterhead of the State Government Secretariat Office addressed to all municipal and district council on this matter. The letter was entitled Termination of Membership of Members of the Local Authority Council, PBT of Perak Darul Rizwan. Perak State Executive Council number 1987 has decided the appointment status of all Perak Local Authority members appointed 1 August 2019 until 31 July 2021 terminate their service effective 30 April 2020. Thank you.
So, as a conclusion, it is explained that members of the local councils have their own advantages and also their disadvantages. Okay, a point who have been made by certain people should choose the person who is suitable for the position in this matter because to help the community. It also the appointment should be able to have a positive impact in carrying out their duties as members of the local council. Okay, thank you.